My time's finally come to become part of the weapon that will finally destroy the Antaeus assemblage.
Don't let your hubris get the better of you, Munitioner. Do not forget that you have been advanced from the second-generation Colossus unit due to the project's near failure.
That's because Colossus didn't have me.
Yes, I have modified your AI to take full control of the Colossus weapon systems, but your munitions management and my direct operations overseer functions are no guarantee of success. They are merely a high probability of stability.
Aren't you the chief engineer of this project? Have a little faith in what you've created.
Faith? We move to the front lines at daybreak. I have been denied any further time for tests or development. We shall soon see if faith can prevent that which is statistically inevitable.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus with the continuing tale of Crossfire-02. This is the Munitioner. He's a tan truck, and his plastic wheels are thick and oomphy. I love them. Overall, the truck mode's got delicious detail sculpted all over the place. A few more smooth surfaces than I would have liked, but the parts that aren't smooth, they're gorgeous, especially the rivets. I like rivets a lot. One might argue that it would be nice if you had clear windows, but I think that would have caused some structural lack of integrity here and there. The one thing that I wish they could have done different are the two pegs in the tab on the front. They're there for reasons I will explain in a later video, but I really wish they could have folded away somehow. It's a big, glaring thing that messes with the aesthetics of the vehicle mode. But that aside, let me tell you, this vehicle mode, look at this. It rolls like a mofo. Check out these tires, man. They are thick, they are good, they work. He also kind of looks like this guy. You might remember him as Fred Willard from animated robot formers. And one other little touch is that you can rotate the gun, and in fact you can rotate it over that block that I didn't think was going to be able to clear, but you have to rotate it over it with the angled up part. If you try the other way, then you get a collision. Much like the Explorer, you can kit this guy out with many of the accessories he came with for the other members of the Colossus team. Strangely enough, the grenade launcher's forward attachment clips really nicely onto one of those aforementioned annoying pegs on the front of the vehicle mode. I'm not sure if this was intentional, but it really does feel like it. You can also plug either the grenade launcher or one of the plasma rifles in place of the smaller gun on the roof. And this makes him fit in a little bit better with animated Fred Willard. Or you can throw caution, logic, and stability into the wind and do this. I mean, granted, the little gun's kind of just balanced there, and if I shake him, yeah, well. Anyway, you can do that. And you can also put him on a shoe! Shoe truck! Unfortunately, it is kind of difficult to get this weapon to fit on there unless you get creative, because as it is, when it's in the small robot-wielding mode, you just can't fit it on there with the ammo magazine, so you have to turn it sideways, but you can't do that unless you extend the barrel out, and then you can fit it in here, but you've got a little car with a gigantic, enormous sniper rifle sticking off the front, and it kind of works as a battering ram, maybe? It's up to you. And check out this dead wicked armored windshield anti-aircraft flak cannon mode! He can fight off all kinds of helicopters and... I'll just transform him. Aside from having to remove the roof cannon and deal with somewhat scary tightnesses in how the feet lock into the center of the vehicle mode, Munitioner has a cleanly executed and conceptually simple conversion. Joints are smooth and tight, though one may accidentally pop off the ball joint of his ankles the first time around. The rest of the transformation is incredibly easy and intuitive in either direction, owing a lot to the great and precise seams and tabs in the arms and backpack. With a head reveal identical to Explorer's, Munitioner offers a less intricate but no less satisfying transformation. Much like the Explorer, Munitioner's sculpt and paintwork are personifications of crisp and clean, particularly in the torso and head. I really love what Fansproject did to capture the blockhead style of the old Scramble City guys. It's beautiful for me to look at. Like I've said before, I love a robot whose head is a square that is covered in hard angles. There's something about that that really gets me going. If there's one problem I had with the head sculpt, though, it's that it doesn't actually look as swindle as I would have liked. It's a great head sculpt, great paintwork, don't get me wrong, but as a Swindle-style head, I really wish his eyes were bigger and a lot more purple. Granted, the purple thing I was kind of turned on to and won over to by big-time Swindle fans who may or may not be called Derek. But I really would have liked to see a slight bit of extra cartooniness there. Really tiny nitpick and definitely not a damning point on the toy. And like I said, this head sculpt is otherwise gorgeous. His posability is also very well done for a basic-sized toy. Like Explorer, he has a ball-jointed head that is really emotive. Not quite as emotive as Explorer's. His shoulders and elbows are ball-jointed, swivel-jointed, double-jointed, bicep-jointed, everything. Once again, though, no wrist swivel. I can more so see why not this time, although I do wish it was in there somehow. Also, like Explorer, he has a ratcheted waist joint, which I really like, and really uninhibited ball-jointed hips. His knee joint is only one joint, but it's practically double jointed, mostly because of the transformation, but I'm sure there was something intentional in this as well. And here's the really cool part. This guy has not just a forward and backward ankle tilt, but he has a really cool side-to-side tilt that's actually accomplished via a single ball joint here. Now, this thing can pop off sometimes, especially when you're transforming him and you're not sure where to grab things, but I really love what they did here with these. Oh, and hey, he has this tiny gun from his vehicle mode. He can hold it. Hooray. I really wish he could have had this stored on his, his hip or something. You can kind of fit it into his back if you don't mind his backpack sticking up even more. So you could do this, but I don't really like how that looks. It's a cool little weapon, though. It really fits him. It's got the little kind of block sight thing on the top, and you can easily pose him so he's glaring down and about to pop a laser cap into your spinal column and or sternum, kidney, lungs, etc., etc., etc. Munitioner can wield either of the gray ranged weapons that he comes with, in lieu of his tiny little hand cannon. And they suit him really well, especially given that he's supposed to be the dude who is in charge of all these kind of things. Dual-wielding 10 robots aside, you can also combine the two weapons into the shotgun mode, and he can still carry it. I just really wish there was somewhere for this to go, like onto the shotgun, or, some kind of thing in his shoulder here. Would have been such a nice little touch. Again, hardcore nitpicking, but just, take a look at that. If that was actually secure and not something I could knock loose by... Oh, actually, that's more secure than I thought it was going to be. Moving along! Munitioner can also carry the larger assault rifle, to fairly good effect. And then, of course, you can fold that out into its kind of sniper rifle long barrel mode, and... well, things get a little bit crazy. Then again, you can also give him the combined shotgun and make sure things get totally crazy. Munitioner can also use the somewhat jiggly multi-finger launcher laser gun things, but I don't really like how they look on him compared to the other weaponry. One of my most unreasonable disappointments with the set would probably be that this thing does not quite fit onto his crotch for Munitioner power crotch mode. It actually can almost clip into place around his waist and then just frictions itself off. And I mean, this would have been incredible. Where's the foresight? Oh my god. Really though, this is the most pointless thing I could have complained about. And actually, you know what? I apologize for complaining about it. I just really want giant robot crotches. Shoe skate mode! Whoa! Whoa! Shoe skate! This guy does come with one more accessory, but it's unfortunately one that you cannot even use the highest levels of imagination surgery to stitch onto Munitioner. You'll see what it's for later on. Though I generally prefer the Explorer as a standalone robot, Munitioner is also extremely strong and has one more slight bonus feature. The robo-forming transmorpher character that he somewhat resembles has a much bigger following than the one that Explorer resembles. So there is actually a small draw for those who might want to buy this guy on his own, if they don't have the rest of the components to form the Colossus. And given that all of his accessories can, at the very least, look like cool background stuff for him when he's out selling weaponry and whatnot, I'd say he's almost worth it on his own. If you're a big-time animated Fred Willard fan, anyway. See the resemblance? It's very slight, but it's there. However, this guy really does shine when he's with the rest of the unit. And I'd say he's definitely more worth it if you can accomplish that formation of plastic. Munitioner and Explorer are definitely pinnacles in terms of tiny third-party vehicular transformers, though. And I would heavily recommend at least messing around with your friend's version of him, if not purchasing your own. This has been Internet Personality Vangelus, and I think it's almost time to awaken the Colossus.